In a world that often feels overwhelmed by struggle, there are still lights that shine with purpose, compassion, and real impact. This is one of them. Welcome to a movement that's changing lives, not with promises, but with action. More Hope Now isn't just a name. It's a mission to uplift, to empower, and to support the children who need it most. Led by the unwavering dedication of CEO Tahira Lee and CFO Tarik Lee, More Hope Now reaches beyond borders to provide opportunity, healing, and most of all, hope. They're helping build a world where every child matters. This podcast is about that mission, about real stories, real people, and the ripple effect of doing good. This is More Hope Now.
More Hope Now.
With the mobile application, what do you think? Like, how would it help the general audiences? How would it help other people? And what impact it would bring to your cause?
Oh my goodness. Listen, I thought we had a limited amount of time on this podcast. Because there's so many benefits. We have to reimagine education, and we do that through technology, right? Just that's where there are. Technology is advancing, it's not going anywhere. AI is here, it's not going anywhere. So with the AI interface, with them being able to be more effective and streamline the learning, to have it interactive, right? To have like a walking therapist, a mobile therapist in your pocket. Hey, I'm feeling sad because a lot of them don't have language for how they're feeling. But to be able to start their day with a conversation, let me check in with my feelings. Let me see where my emotional intelligence is sitting at today, and then let me remove those learning barriers so I can focus on learning, right? And that's what the app will do. You get an access to be offline, because not everyone has the strongest internet. Because we do have a population in Asia, we have a population in South Africa, and the signal is not the best. But this will allow them to have online, offline access so it doesn't interrupt their learning. And it's got cool games, with the integration of just to be able to be social with their peers. They can just give them high fives and do all those things and be really social in a virtual environment, because they're already social in a virtual environment. This, the thing that we get from parents a lot on town halls is, oh, well, how are they going to have social interaction? Like, okay, really, when the last time your child went outside to play? I'll wait. They're not going outside to play. They're not being social outside. They're being social online. So with this app, to be able to provide a safe social place for them to interact and get those social skills without having to worry that a predator is going to come in and interrupt their whole vibe, I think is a godsend.
This is research that I was reading, might be scary for some people. Gen Z millennials, they have an average screen time on mobile devices for up to 7 to 8 hours daily. So you can imagine with the newer generations coming forward, I can only see it increasing. But if it is increasing, and we cannot do anything about it, I'll be honest with you, you can't just grab a phone from a child, you know what they do. So what we can do is provide them those tools over to them on those devices. So if they're spending time on it, it better be worthwhile, right? It's a beautiful cause. So
it means something.
Exactly. Like with Hope House, where do you see this, or where do you want to see this within the next 10 years, the next 20 years, the next 50 years, perhaps? What are your missions and plans for the future?
Oh my goodness. So we're going to start with 5. In the next 5 years, we will be the leading model for education, because we are boots on the ground. We have been really going district to district, planting the seeds, planting this alternative education model, and they're loving it. They're eating it up. I'm like, let's go on the list. So when the app is available, we can license it out to you and you can have this model, right? That's where I see us being the way that we're doing to being the leader in the next 10 years, being a global leader. being global, this is the global standard for the way learning happens.
The gold
And
platinum
so,
standard.
yes, the gold platinum standard. And then just, over the next 20 years, have this be such because it's a 360, right? It's not just for the students, it's for the parents, it's for the community, right? And all through education, because if you can teach one, you can reach one, right? So that's what it's about. We're going in the ground level with the kids, trickling up to the adults, and then to the outer community, because it takes all of us. And we see how the world is going. We see the news. People are scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. There's new paths, new bridges, new opportunities coming out of what's going on.
New ways of education for the future, a whole generation of free thinkers, generational wealth. With Hope House, what I imagine years down the line, just imagine what our students are going to create, because they have the freedom to create. You're not in this box where you have to do this, X, Y, and Z. And if you don't pass this test, we're holding you back. Excuse me. We're going to let you be free. We're going to let you design, whether it is tech, real estate, art, science. We're going to let you create something that's never been seen before. So I'm super excited about what the future is going to produce through Hope House.
Yes, excited, because our beta students already have been nailing it out of the park, and with this technology, going back to the technology question, is this technology is going to allow more of those students to experience what our core group has so much success. So like I said, I'm excited, he's excited, they're excited, you're excited, everybody's excited.
Coming to my final question before I request Tarik to do a prayer for me, you, everyone who's listening, what would be your message to people listening today? What would be one message that you, Tahira, and you, Tarik, would like to give to the listeners, to the audiences?
You want me to go first? You want to
go? I can go. One message that I would want the world to understand, especially in this climate, that we are way more stronger together than we are separate. If we come together and we collaborate, we're going to find out we have way more things in common, and we can reach way more goals if we come together. We're better united.
Beautiful.
And the message I have is more and open. Be open to the possibilities. Just because it was done one way for so long doesn't mean it's the best way. Be open enough to even just venture out to just, hey, check it into that intuition. Check into that other alternative way of doing things. Because the only thing that's constant is change. And if we do not challenge ourselves to change, we're going to die. We have this saying at our school. It's actually, if you want to go to themorehopenow.com and get your merch, it's evolve or die. Okay, you're either evolving, which means you're growing, or you're dying. There's two options. And we don't want anybody to die. No. Like, funerals are expensive. We want everybody to live with more hope.
Very powerful words, especially change is constant and there's nothing that you can do to stop it. So now I would like to request, because I'm a fan of how Tarik says a prayer unto everyone, and I'm sure the listeners would be feeling that through the words of Tarik as well. So Tarik, if you would like to do the honors before we...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, just close your head, bow your eyes, close your eyes and bow your head. Dear God, I thank you for waking us up this morning. I thank you for starting us on our way. I thank you for Jordan and his team and everything he's about to do in this podcast and all the lives that it's going to touch. I thank you for Hope House. I thank you for our students. I thank you for our teachers. I thank you for everybody that's going through something now and think that they're lost. Let them know right now that they're not lost. Let them know that you're with them. You're always going to be with them, that you're always going to guide them. I ask that you make sure that we have an open heart and a clear mind, that we can have an open mind for good things that are coming for us, good ideas and good people that are coming into our lives. Let everybody that is under the sound of my voice have peace, have prosperity, and have progress. And let everybody say amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. That was really beautiful and really powerful, Tarik. Thank you, and God bless you guys for joining me on this podcast. And, what you're doing, your mission, as I've said before, It is absolutely beautiful. The world needs more people like you. So thank you so much. It's really an honor having you, Tariq and Doc Hope. All right. Thank you
Yay.
for joining us, listeners, and we'll be back with another guest on another podcast. Stay tuned. Bye.
Peace.